And can you still hear me? Yes, great. Okay, let's get started in a comfortable seat. We'll come to sit. Any position that feels comfortable for you, on your mat or on a block. And let the crown of the head lift up. Let the shoulders relax. The upper arms, elbows hanging into the sides. The chest lifts so the spine is nice and long, not slouching. And the legs heavy. Either close the eyes or focus the gaze down onto one point. Allow the whole body to settle. Let go of any tension that you might be feeling. Feel the shape of the body. Bring your awareness inside. Come into the physical body. And then use your awareness to scan the body from top to bottom, front to back, all around. As you do this, acknowledge anything that's coming up for you, from the subtle sensations. There may be some pulsing or tingling, to stronger sensations. Shift your awareness around. If you come across anything that feels maybe tight or uncomfortable, an old injury, and acknowledge that. Know that you may need to modify the practice to accommodate those things. Take a step back from the body scan and notice your mood and your energy. Remember that when we're moving through the practice, you're always welcome to rest when you need to. You can take child's pose or come into a comfortable seat, and always modify in a way that you need to. Use any props that are useful to you. We'll bring the hands into prayer in front of the heart. An opportunity to set an intention. That could be just a word, might be a statement. I am confident, strong, happy, relaxed. Take a moment to consider your intention. And take an inhale together. Send out your intentions with your exhale. Release the hands down and come to lie on your back. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Lie down. Oh. And if this position of the legs doesn't work for you, you could always knock the knees together. So rest or Let the hands rest in whatever position they've come into. And then feel the back of the body on the mat, the back of the head. Feel the shoulder blades and the upper back. Let the middle back relax down. Feel the contact between the lower back and the sacrum and the buttocks. And the outside edges of the feet. Feel all those points of contact. And let the body get heavier into the contact. Feel the space through the front of the body, across the shoulders, across the chest, through the inner thighs and the groins. And start now to focus on your breath. We're going to begin to deepen the breath, finding slightly longer breath and even inhale and exhale. So we want the inhale and the exhale to be about the same length. And you can start to count, mentally count, as you inhale for a count of maybe 4 or 5. You match that count with your exhale. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 4. Just take some time here to find a comfortable rhythm. And start to settle into the rhythm. I'm going to keep that breath going throughout the practice. It should be easy, comfortable. It shouldn't feel forced or not a big, deep breath, just slightly longer than your natural breath. Now bring your knees in. Give them a squeeze in towards you. And keep your right knee in, but lengthen your left leg on the mat. Interlace around your right shin. Give the right leg a squeeze. We're going to move into a twist. So your right arm will extend straight out to the right. Your right knee will draw across to your left. I need to shuffle my bottom hip underneath me so the hips stack. We don't need the right knee to touch down. If you had a block or a pillow, you could rest your right knee on that block. So right knee across to your left, right arm straight out to the right, and maybe the head could roll to the right. And then feel that stretch, that openness from your right hand to your right armpit, all the way down the right side from the armpit to the hip, and then out through the right knee. Take a couple more breaths here. Now come back to center and draw the knees back in. Keep your left leg in and extend the right leg along the mat. Interlace around your left shin. And then moving into the twist. The right hand draws the left leg across the body. The left arm extends out to the left. And as I said, you could always rest that left knee on a block or a pillow. If mine were to hand, I would use my block under my knee, but they're not there. Take 2 more breaths. Now come back to center, hug the knees in. We're going to come up and over to all fours. So you might just roll over to one side, press up and come to all fours, or you can rock along the spine. If that feels okay, you might do a few rocks and rolls. And then we're all going to meet on all fours, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And spread your fingers out. On your inhale, start to look up. So lift the head, open the chest, a little bend in the elbows, and the belly sinks down. On your exhale, round the back and tuck the chin. Cat pose. And we'll move with the breath. Inhale to look up and lengthen. Exhale to round. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Come back into a neutral spine. Maybe take the knees a little bit wider, and we're going to start to circle the hips. And circling the hips in one direction. You can make those circles as big or as little as feels comfortable for you. You might feel that through the hips and through the lower back. And also getting into the wrists and the hands. Now, go ahead and change the direction. And then come back into a neutral spine. We'll take puppy pose. I like to tuck my toes under. You keep your hips directly above the knees, so the hips are not going to sink back towards the heels. Hips above the knees. Walk the hands forwards. Really stretch forwards. Imagine a puppy stretching. The hands reaching forwards. Sink the chest down. So you might be able to come down onto your forehead. You may be able to drop your chest down. Or if you have a block, you can position the block under the chest and rest on that. But stretch the hands forwards. Really stick your butt up. And let the armpits and the chest sink down. If there are any tight areas, then breathe a little bit more deeply into those spaces. Light toning to the core. Couple more breaths here. We're going to walk the hands in, come back to all fours, and then press back to child's pose. Big toes to touch, seat to heels. Allow the head to rest, and the elbows and the forearms. Breathe into the back. Breathe all the way down into your lower back, all the way up into your shoulders. A couple more breaths here. We come up to all fours. Tuck the toes under and press back to downward facing dog. Lift the sit bones up and back. Find length through the spine from your hands to your tailbone. And then we slowly pedal out the heels. And notice how it feels today. Use this movement to stretch into the backs of the legs and the feet. And the breath is still smooth and easy. Find stillness in your down dog. Anytime you need to modify down dog, you could come to all fours or child's pose. In down dog, spread the fingers out, push the mat away, lengthen the spine, lift your sit bones up. The heels are sinking towards the mat, but they might not touch down, and that's fine. And you can keep a little bend in the knees. That will help to keep the spine long. Exhale to look forwards and step the feet to the top of the mat and fold into ragdoll, feet hip width. Let the head go. The option is to interlace your fingers behind the back. You might rest your hands at the lower back. You might be able to lift the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Let the head hang heavy. And then feel free to take some movement here. A nice rock from side to side, backwards and forwards, a shake of the head. Now release your hands down. Inhale for a halfway lift, hands onto the shins, long spine open across the chest. Exhale, fold back in, hug the belly in, let the head go. Halfway lift, inhale, come back up. Exhale, fold in. One more, inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Press the palms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart, and be still. Close the eyes. And press into your feet and find length through the spine to the crown of the head. And feel balanced. The weight is evenly spread through both of your feet. You feel the shape of the footprints and the 10 toes. Now release the arms by the sides. Sun salute A. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, bend the knees any amount. Inhale, a halfway lift. Exhale, bring the hands down and step back to a plank, either with the knees up or you could drop the knees down. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows lower down onto your belly. Point the toes, legs are strong. Inhale for cobra, lift up any amount. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more like that. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Tap the forehead down. On your inhale, push up to all fours. Take it back to child's pose. Smooth out the breath. Inhale, come up to all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back to down dog. On your next exhale, look forwards. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale, the head hangs heavy. Inhale, rise up, press the palms overhead. Forward fold with the exhale, flow back in. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back to a plank. Knees up or down. Inhale. Exhale, lower down onto your belly or half the way down for chaturanga. Inhaling for cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift back to down dog or child's pose if you wish. Come to stillness. Stay for 5 breaths. Just let the head hang, feel the length through the back of the neck and soften the shoulders. Exhale, look forwards. Step or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, stretch up, press the palms. Forward fold with the exhale and keep moving. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back to a plank. Make an inhale. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale for your back bend, rise up. Exhale to down dog or child's pose for 5 breaths. Follow each breath in and each breath out. Remember the rhythm that you created at the beginning, the mental count that you might have done. On your next exhale, look forwards. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold in with the exhale. Inhale, rise up, upward salute, press the palms. Hands to heart, exhale. And be still, feel balanced. Stabilize the breath. Now let the weight shift into your left foot. Start to lift the right knee up. If you need to lean against the wall, go ahead. So the right knee lifts up, interlace around the right shin, and stand tall, open the chest. So we did this lying down. You could stay just like this, or we're going to add in a twist. Right hand to the right hip, left hand outside the right thigh. Turn your chest to the right. Maybe you can reach the right hand behind you. If it's in your practice, you may bring your left hand to the outside of the right foot. Stay here, or kick the right foot out. Your choice. You've got a couple more breaths here. Keep lengthening up through the crown, twisting open through the right shoulder. Now look forwards. Bring the hands onto the hips, elbows out behind you. Extend out through the right heel. Lift the right leg up. Maybe a little bit higher. Keep breathing. And then release. Right foot next to the left. Hands to heart. And we switch sides. So the weight shifts into your right foot. Feel that footprint on the mat. The left knee starts to lift up. Interlace around the shin and stand tall. Adding in your twist, the right hand outside the left thigh, left hand onto the hip, turn the chest to the left. Maybe reach the left hand behind you. If it's in your practice, right hand to the left foot and kick out any amount. Couple more breaths. Look forwards. Bring the hands onto your hips. Extend the left leg. Lift the left leg. Can you lift it higher? Then release. Left foot next to the right, arms by the sides, Tadasana. Smooth out your breath. Moving on, inhale, stretch up, look up. Exhale, fold forwards. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Right leg straight and strong out behind you. The left heel sinks down. Right heel lifts up, left heel sinks down. Core strength. Exhale brings your right knee in towards your nose, round the back like cat pose, tuck your chin, and then step the right foot through. Give it a helping hand if you need to. And we'll take a twist. Left hand down. I like to use my block. Right hand reaches up. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward, left leg strong. The option here is to drape your right hand, right arm behind the back, a half bind. Roll the right shoulder open. Check in with the neck. Maybe you need to adjust your gaze, so you might look up to the side, maybe down to the floor. We've got 2 more breaths here, strong legs. On your exhale, look down. Bring both hands down. The back heel drops down, stepping up for warrior one. So press into your feet and rise up. Warrior one, hips squaring towards the top of the mat. Both hands high. Bend forwards into your front knee. Press into your back foot. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest. Pull the knuckles down. Look up. On your exhale, hug the belly in and fold forwards. Humble warrior. Let the head go. You can either be resting the hands on your lower back or lifting the knuckles up, or maybe bring the hands down onto the mat. Use your next inhale to press into your feet and rise back up, warrior one. Take an inhale. Exhale, place the hands down, come onto the toe mound of the back foot and kick back to a three-legged dog. Right leg up and back. Now you choose, keep this right leg lifted or drop the right foot down. And we're going to flow through. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Second side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it in and step it through. Find your lunge and take your twist. Right hand down, stretch the left hand up. The chest turning to your left. Either left hand stays up or drape the left arm behind the back. Left shoulder opens and the chest turns to the left. Exhale to look down. Place both hands down and the back heel drops down. Find your feet for warrior one. Rise up. Settle in. Really anchor down through that back leg. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest. Exhale, press into the back foot as you lean forwards. Let the head go. Keep pushing your left hip back, right hip forward slightly. On an inhale, rise up, warrior one, strong legs. Inhale to stay. Exhale, hands down. Get back to a three-legged dog, left leg up. Either left leg stays up or drop the left foot down. Take a break or we flow through. Inhale to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for any back bend. Exhale to down dog. Down dog or child's pose for 5 breaths. One more breath. Meeting in down dog if you're ready to move on. On your next exhale, look forwards. Make your way to the top of the mat, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Inhale. Fold forwards with the exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Close the eyes. Smooth out the breath. Remember your intention. Release the arms by the sides. Moving on. Inhale, reach up, upward salute. Exhale, fold forwards. Step straight back to downward facing dog. An optional vinyasa if you want to take it. Inhale forwards to a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for your back bend. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee and open your hip up, the hips stack. Right knee points up, right foot dangles down. Inhale, straighten the right leg, square off the pelvis. Exhale, step it forwards. Drop the back heel down for warrior 2. Inhale, rise up. And settle in. Right knee bends forwards. Again, the back leg is strong. And scan through the body, let go of any holding around the jaw, around the shoulders. Maybe the breath is affected, let that soften. Side angle, bring your forearm onto the front thigh and extend the left arm straight up. Open the left shoulder up. Now you might just keep the hand reaching up, or you could take a half bind. That's the left arm draping around the back. Use that to open the left shoulder a little bit more. If you want to take the full bind, go ahead. You drop your right shoulder inside the right knee, and the right arm comes around the back of the right thigh, and you may be able to clasp your fingers. If that's not happening for you, don't worry, just stay with the half bind. Keep the legs strong, keep the torso lifting up, so not collapsing down. There's real strength. One more breath. We're going to come back to warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale to take the hands down. Three-legged dog, kick back. Right leg up and back. Bend the knee and open your hip. Now you choose, take a break or flow through your vinyasa. One breath, one movement. We're meeting in down dog and moving on to the second side. Inhale, extend your left leg up and back. Bend the left knee and open the hip. Keep your hands pressing into the mat. Square off your shoulders. Straighten the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. And drop the back heel down. Warrior two, rise up. Settle in. Side angle, forearm to thigh, right arm straight up. Maybe adding in the half bind, bring your right arm behind the back. Open the right shoulder up. If you did it on the first side, go ahead, take the full bind. The left shoulder inside the left knee. The left arm around the back of the thigh, and you may be able to clasp fingers. Keep the right shoulder opening up. And if that's not happening for you, you can sometimes use a strap that basically extends the arms. If not, just stay with the half bind. You've got one more breath. We're going to rise back to warrior two. On your next exhale, place the hands down. Kick the left leg up and back, bend the knee and open the hip. Take a break or flow through. One breath, one movement. And we'll all meet in child's pose. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale forwards to plank. You can have your knees up or knees down. You're going to come into a side plank on the right. So right hand down. You're on the outside edge of your right foot. Maybe if you need to modify, you could drop your right knee down and press the left foot down. Left hand lifts up. So either a modified side plank with the right knee down or both legs straight. Either stay as you are, or we're going to bend the left knee, bring the left toes behind you for wild thing. The belly and the chest swivel and point up towards the ceiling, and then the left hand straight overhead. So come all the way back round, and we meet in downward facing dog. Maybe you want to flow through, that's your choice. Go with your breath. So we meet in down dog. And we'll do that on the second side. Inhale to a plank. Left hand down. Side plank on your left. Maybe with the left knee down. Right hand reaches up. Stay here or step the right toes behind you. Belly and chest up. Reach your right hand overhead. Make your way back to down dog. Either stay in down dog or grab child's pose or a final vinyasa. We're in down dog or child's pose for 5 breaths. We'll come up to all fours. And we'll take pigeon. So either facing the mat, or you can come onto your back and take figure 4. So I'll demo both. This way, bring your right knee behind the right wrist and the left foot maybe down near the groin, or it might be over towards the left side of the mat. You can use your block under your hip if you need to. That will help to stabilize and take some of the weight out of the right knee. Inhale, puff up your chest, and then come forwards any amount. Stay on your hands or your forearms, or the forehead rest down. If you need to take figure 4, come round onto your back. Press the right ankle over the left thigh, with the option to thread the needle. Wherever you are, adjust into it so you get that opening through the right hip. And keep your awareness on the sensations that are coming up. A couple more breaths. And start to make your way out. If you're on your back, you could just switch sides. If you're on your front, come up onto your palms, lift the chest up. Maybe go back through all fours, just switch sides, or you can keep the right leg up and back, give it a good shake out. And then make your way onto the other side. Left knee behind the left wrist, the right leg stretching out behind you. Puff up your chest, use your block if you did so on the first side, and then fold in any amount. Come back to your breath, back to the sensations. If you're on your back, release out. On your front, start to lift up. And however you want to get there, you're going to come down onto your back. So you might kick the left leg up, give it a shake out. You might want to take a last vinyasa, but then come through to seated, and then all the way down onto your back. Bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees wide. And bring the arms overhead into a wide V shape so that the shoulders are comfortable and the arms are resting on the ground. Feel The body lying on the floor. The outside edges of the feet. The buttocks and the sacrum. The lower back. Let the middle back relax down. Heavy the shoulders and the upper back. And the arms just laying on the ground. Allow yourself to be held here. We're going to bring the knees up, plant the feet, setting up for bridge pose. So feet hip width and parallel. We use an inhale to press down and lift the hips up. And wriggle your shoulder blades under the back. And you might just keep your hands pressing down or interlace the fingers. And again, feel the points of contact, your feet, press them down. Your arms, press them down, your shoulders and the upper back. And the back of the head. Keep lifting the pelvis up. Couple more breaths here. And move the arms out of the way. Bring your back down. And let the sacrum and the buttocks touch down. And let the muscles release. We're going to come up again. So feet hip width and parallel. If you have wheel in your practice, if you want to do that, go ahead. Otherwise, as we've just done, press down, lift the hips up, either hands pressing down or interlace fingers. Keep breathing, full breaths all the way down into the belly. All the way back out. And when you're ready, make your way down. Soles of the feet together and knees wide. Now bring the knees back up. We're going to take a twist. The option this evening is to wrap your right thigh over the left, like eagle legs. Bump your hips to the right and let the knees roll to your left. I'm going to grab my block and rest my knees on the block. Knees don't have to touch down, so it's quite nice to have a block there that brings the ground up to you. Right arm straight out to the right. And if this is not comfortable for you, feel free to take any twist that you enjoy, whatever works for you. As we did in all the other twists, think about turning. So we're turning to the right, so turn your chest to the right. Open your right arm up to the right. If it's okay for the neck, the head rolls to the right. Unravel the legs. Come back to center, knees up to the sky. And we'll switch sides. So the left leg wraps around the right, thighs squeeze together, shift your hips off to the left, let the knees roll to the right. Extend the left arm out to the left. Final few breaths. Unwrap the legs, come back to center and draw the knees into the chest. Gently sway from side to side. Feel that as a massage across the back. And get it into the lower, middle and upper back and the shoulders. And when you're ready, move into Shavasana, taking the legs long, or if it's better for you, you could just knock the knees together. Arms come down by the sides, turn the palms up, and then make your adjustments so that you can be comfortable. Minimal faffing around, just get into it, and then let the body relax. Let the body weigh down onto the ground. Feel that with every exhale, the body is getting heavier and softer. The breath is starting to settle. We'll take the last few minutes to be still and quiet, and I will let you know when it's time to come out of the practice. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're ready to come out of the practice, start to deepen the breath. And bring some movement into your fingers and the toes. Start to roll the wrists out and the ankles. Slowly turn the head from side to side. And then reach the arms overhead, a full body stretch. Bring your knees in. Let yourself roll to one side. And make your way up to sit. Come back into your comfortable seat. Bring the hands into prayer. Close the eyes. Moment to acknowledge your practice, anything that is brought to you this evening. Press the thumbs to the third eye and remember your intention. We bow the head to the heart to seal the practice. Namaste. Thank you.